To kick off Zelda Month in style, we're going to be counting down what I believe are the 10 best boss fights across the whole Zelda series. No rules on this one, so be prepared to see entries from the same game. I love the Zelda franchise's boss fights, be it an itemized fight that has to be beaten using the dungeon item, or a classic hack and slash fight to the death. So are you ready to count them down? Let's go.
Number 10.
Vitreous, from A Link to the Past, is one of the weirdest boss fights in the Zelda franchise. He has a large pool of green eyeballs and goop that swarm you. The weak spot is his main eye, and he can really only be efficiently killed from range as the goop hurts you to stand in and he constantly floods eyes towards your direction.
Number 9.
The Marat King from Wind Waker is epic in every definition of the word. You finally find your sister, and then comes down the king to wreck the party. The first phase is about timing and running up the slopes to avoid him, but then you reach the top and have to face off with him using the skull hammer to break his mask. His attacks are easily avoided, but are nonetheless well animated and make for a great fight.
Number 8.
Gerak from Twilight Princess. This fight is a phenomenal finisher to the dungeon where you become Spider Link. Not to mention that this may have been the first fight in this style for the franchise. Goma from Wind Waker may have been the first step with the grappling hook, but this was its full realization. Plus he's a fucking dragon, come on.
Number 7.
Godan, in my opinion, is the better Bongo Bongo of the Zelda series. The aim of the fight is to hit his hands and his face in their weak spots. Not the hardest or the easiest fight in the games. But the build-up of going through the Tower of the Gods dungeon makes this fight super climactic to me. And that's without even mentioning the awesome color palette used during the fight. This is the best way to cap off a good dungeon, is with a killer boss.
Number 6.
Link's Shadow, not canonically known as Dark Link quite yet, is the final boss of Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. And what a fight it is! This battle has destroyed many controllers. Lore and story aside, this fight itself is notoriously difficult, and the run up to it through the Great Palace dungeon makes the salt flow even more. But the worst of all is that some players figured out that you can cheese the fight by what is known as crouch killing the shadow from the corner.
Number 5.
I had to have a fight with Vaati on here. I just had to have one of Vaati's boss fights, and I was really struggling with not having 2 or 3 of them on this damn list because they're all so good. But the fight with Vaati in Minish Cap is better than 4 Swords and 4 Swords Adventures because of the build-up to it. Minish Cap was a severely underrated Zelda title and was my favorite Vaati battle because it has multiple phases like final bosses are known for, and each one is fairly difficult. Minish Cap has a reputation of being the easy Zelda game, but this fight really makes you work for your victory.
Number 4.
Onyx, whichever way you want to pronounce it. For me, I've always pronounced it Onyx. It's the final battle of Oracle of Seasons, and is worthy of that as it's very awesome. This fight is phenomenal. His first phase is what you would expect of him. He follows you around the room using his flail as a melee attack, throwing it for range, and he summons Gale Force and Rock Slide magic. But the second phase flips the perspective to a side-scroller where you fight him from below. I love this fight.
Number 3.
I need to get this out of the way first. It took a lot of self-arguing not to have 5 different Ganon or Ganondorf fights on here because they are all awesome. Zelda franchise is known for having some great boss fights, but especially the Ganon and Ganondorf final boss fights are all renowned for being great. So I narrowed it down to which one I personally find the best. And that is the Twilight Princess finale. This fight is everything to love about Ganondorf. The first phase you fight him as Ganon, the Dark Beast, his pig porcine form that you're familiar with. Second, you fight him on horseback with Zelda behind you. And third is a sword duel. This is a phenomenal fight, and a great ending to one of the best action-adventure games of all time.
Number 2.
Molgera isn't the most clever or difficult fight Nintendo ever created for the franchise, but I cannot love it enough. I don't know why. Through all my 10 plus times playing through Wind Waker, I always looked forward to this fight. The arena, the design, and most of all, arguably one of the best musical tracks in the Zelda franchise. Just see my top 10 Zelda songs video for proof of that. There is just something about this fight, there's some substance about it that I can't put my finger on. But nothing quite beats.
And number 1.
Zant. Or rather, Usurper Zant. This boss fight cannot be touched when it comes to scope and overall flavor in this franchise. Not only do you see the true Zant, this guy who's been haunting you the entire game, and is one of the most iconic villains in the franchise even after only one game. He's a damn lunatic. Imbued with the powers of Ganondorf, he takes you on a wild ride through nearly every boss arena and every boss mechanic in the whole damn game. Zant reigns supreme on this list. All bosses deserve mention here, but sadly I could only pick 10. I hope you enjoyed the video though. Be sure to tell me what your favorite Zelda bosses are down below in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you enjoyed me, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you later.